Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased to rise in this House to discuss private member's bill put forward by the Leader of the Official Opposition, Bill C-394. Whereas we applaud the suggestion of investing resources into parents, this bill misses the point, does not address the inadequate parental leave system that exists in this country, leaves out the fundamental issue of childcare, and contributes to growing inequality in Canada. We believe that this proposal will not fix the many issues with Canada's parental leave, and particularly the systemic barriers that Canadian women face. Let's talk about inequality, Mr. Speaker. Growing inequality is the result of decades of conservative and liberal policies of privatization and deregulation, policies that have ravaged our public services and that have dismantled our welfare state. Policies that have attacked the foundations of what previous generations have fought for to offer better living conditions to the working class and to people across this country. Policies that are in the interest of a few and leave the many behind. We know that inequality in Canada does not affect everyone equally. It's gendered, racialized, it's Indigenous, it's disabled, and more, it's generational. The millennial generation, my generation, faces the prospect of being worse off than their parents. And this is the generation we're talking about when talking about new parents. So let's talk about what millennials are facing. Millennials are facing increasingly precarious work conditions. They have to survive from going from one gig to the next. They're being told to just get used to the job churn. And we're seeing a government telling us to embrace this reality as a new normal. We're seeing an official opposition that does not seem to get that the fundamental challenges that we face cannot be fixed with a regressive tax proposal like the one in front of us. And in fact, when they were in government, the Conservative Party did nothing to improve the working conditions that millennials face in our country and did nothing when it came to childcare. The economy we have today is not working for Canada's young people, for Canadian millennials. A 2015 Abacus survey showed us that 59% of millennials are delaying major milestones, like starting a family, because of the financial pressures that they face. Beyond this number are the stories of young people who are struggling to get by. And I'm reminded of a young woman that I met in Windsor who talked about how, given all the challenges she's faced, to be able to find secure employment, the multiple degrees, the student debt, etc., the one thing she said she knew well was that she was not going to be able to have kids because she wouldn't be able to afford to give them what her parents gave her. In the fall of 2016, a CIBC report was published that demonstrated that not only is there a historically high rate of part-time jobs in the economy, a rate that still sits at over 19%, but that the share of below-average paid jobs is steadily increasing. We know that in Canada, more and more jobs that are being created are insecure ones, many of those being done by young people. Reversing growing inequality must be front and center for us as parliamentarians. This is where this proposal put forward by the Leader of the Official Opposition falls short. The measure proposed, an investment of $850 million annually, according to some estimates, will be looked at by the Parliamentary Budget Officer. But as it stands, an investment of this size needs to address some of the most pressing issues related to deficient parental leave systems that exist in our country. On sait qu'on pourrait faire mieux. Un exemple au sein de notre fédération nous a montré la voie. Au Québec, on a mis en place des mesures qui devraient être appuyées par le gouvernement fédéral. Il y a un congé parental généreux et accessible, et un bien plus grand nombre de femmes et leurs familles qui peuvent en profiter. Les femmes qui travaillent au salaire minimum au Québec n'ont à travailler que 178 heures pour avoir accès au régime d'assurance parentale, ou gagner seulement 2 000 $ dans un emploi assurable. Ce chiffre grimpe à 600 heures pour les autres Canadiennes. Une fois qu'elles ont leurs enfants, les familles québécoises peuvent compter sur un réseau de garderies abordables partout au Québec. Ailleurs au Canada, les garderies sont trop souvent hors de prix. Les familles et souvent les mères doivent faire un choix déchirant. Retarder de fonder une famille, ne pas retourner au travail ou se ruiner pour pouvoir se payer une garderie. Cette situation est inacceptable. On peut et on doit faire mieux. Si le Québec l'a fait, le reste du Canada peut le faire. C'est une question de priorité. So what can we do? First, we have to talk about the fact that too many Canadian parents are not eligible for parental leave. Excluding Quebec, only 64% of Canadian women can take their leave benefits after having a child. This means that more than 1/3 of new mothers do not qualify to take that leave. David MacDonald from the CCPA indicated that Bill C-394's tax credit proposal will not help alleviate inequalities in Canada, in some ways will even contribute to them. The tax credit proposal is more likely to benefit higher income and middle income earners and is less likely to benefit new parents earning lower incomes. Barriers to access EI, notably in the number of insurable hours that are required, are too high for many young women in precarious work. And I can tell you right now, Mr. Speaker, that that reality is very much the case where I come from. Many people up north, in our north, do not have access to parental leave because of the high rates of unemployment and underemployment. Also, what I hear from many neighbors and friends, and I know from my own reality as a new parent, is the lack of access to affordable childcare and the way in which that proves to be a major financial burden for many, many families where I come from. Second, instead of providing a tax credit, we need to increase the income replacement rate. We agree that we need to put more money in the pockets of new parents because they need it. But with this proposal, since the proposed tax credit is not refundable, new parents that earn lower incomes would not benefit nearly as much as middle or high-income earners, since many low-income families earn only 55% of their salary when on leave. The income replacement rate of 55% is simply too low, especially when families are dealing with many new expenses. A higher income replacement rate will benefit all levels of income earners and would therefore not participate in increasing the already alarming growing inequality that exists in Canada. And finally, we must address the issue of childcare. For Canadian women and for new parents to have more income available to them, we must as a country find a way to offer childcare services that are affordable across Canada. In all our major cities outside of Quebec, costs of childcare are making life unaffordable and are proving to be very challenging when families are deciding their priorities. And I'll just list off some of the numbers. The median cost of childcare by city in our country: Toronto, $1,212 per month per child; Ottawa, $1,009 per month per child; Vancouver, $950 per month per child. Mr. Speaker, Canadian parents know this reality, and these are the kinds of priorities they want to see addressed. We want to be clear that the NDP supports the idea that we need to invest in Canadian families and in new parents, but we disagree with the proposal that has been put forward by the Conservative leader. A proposal that will increase inequality, as it will do nothing to help lower-income families. A proposal that will not help new parents finally access the benefits they need and deserve by making parental leave more accessible. And a proposal that for all of the public resources it aims to invest will not create a single affordable daycare space, something that is urgently needed across our communities. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to say that along with our colleagues, we believe that Canadian parents deserve much better. Thank you.
Resuming debate, the Honourable Member for Elgin, Middlesex, London.